Welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim. It's Monday and it's cold out.
It is.
What is going on? For goodness sake, I want to talk to that rodent. Connie, what's this?
That's like, don't call Craig a rodent. I thought you meant our weather person or a meteorologist.
Seriously though?
The gopher. No, what do you call that? The hedgehog. No, the groundhog.
The groundhog. The rodent.
It's sunny.
It is. It's beautiful. The sky's gorgeous this morning.
I can put a parka on.
Yeah, you're
and look
right.
at the sunshine.
Yeah.
But I can't take the cold and the gray. So
yeah.
Boy, is it ever starting to get brighter in the morning. I've noticed the difference.
Yeah?
You don't know the difference.
No, it's still dark when I come in.
Well, 4 o'clock.
It'll be dark in July when I come in.
Yeah, that's. It
Are
is,
you?
isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's dark.
Yeah.
It's dark. Shoveling snow off the roof. My poor James.
James?
My word. Jim, my husband.
Oh, okay. I never knew his fancy name.
Yeah, his fancy real name. Like
on the roof. Shoveling?
On the roof for hours and hours and hours. It's been
because of the ice damming. It's a bad
Well,
thing.
that's the thing. And you know what? Driving around town, I've never seen. I feel like so many people shoveling roofs. One guy. We went grocery shopping yesterday. Jim said, look at that guy. He had like an electric snow blower on the roof. I thought that was so brilliant.
I
Just
have one
a
of
little
those.
thing. What?
I have one of those little, it just has little sidewalk jobs.
Yeah.
Up on the roof, hey?
Yes.
Keith.
You know?
I'm not doing it.
I said to Jim, I said, can you bring a snow float up there? He said, yeah, but the party's doing now, we have a gazebo below it, and it's a metal gazebo. So he doesn't want to just like shove the snow down there. So he's got a shovel and walk and dump.
I don't think we can do that. We have a what do you call it? Roof, metal. It's called a metal roof. Why does it feel? That sounds wrong. Tin roof.
Aluminum.
Tin roof.
Tin
Rusted.
What?
That's that song by the people.
All right.
They tin roof, rusted. Come on, somebody help me. What's that song?
Somebody help him. Please help him.
Huh? Love Shack, baby, Love Shack, Love Shack. Baby,
yeah, that's an old.
Anyway, I don't think we can do that because we have a tin roof.
Tin roof.
I don't know. You can't walk on it.
Oh, you can't?
We're not supposed to because you could scratch it all up.
Well, sure.
Anyway.
But I'll tell you, I'm about done with the snow.
Hey,
can I just say?
There's a guy, talk about getting stuck in, the snowstorms have been brutal all over the place and
everywhere.
Traffic getting stopped and so this guy, I guess he's from Oregon and he and his dog, they like to off-road. Stupid.
Oh, yes.
Did you hear about this guy? He got stuck in a snowdrift. Because he shouldn't have been out there driving in the deep snow in his RAV or whatever he was in, or Toyota 4Runner. Anyway,
it was
I shouldn't say the brand because I don't know what it was. Anyway, 5 days.
5 days?
In his car with his dog.
And what saved him?
Taco Bell fire sauce. He had packets of Taco Bell fire sauce in his car, and that's how he survived for 5 days. I don't know what the dog survived on, but anyway, yeah, he ate those packets. They tried to leave the car, but they couldn't. The snow was too deep. So
is that what happened?
Yeah, and he would just turn it on once in a while to warm it up, and then turn it off, and then hold it. Oh, there's a picture of him stuck in this. Look at how stuck he was.
Yeah, he was.
What kind of car is that? It's a Toyota. There you go.
But anyway, you know what? He looks like he's in a place he shouldn't be in. A Toyota shouldn't be in a spot like that.
No, off-roading in the deep snow is not a good idea. But if you are going to go off-roading in the deep snow, make sure you have Taco Bell hot sauce with you.
That's the lesson of the day. Hey, a friend of yours, I have news. Cynthia Dale. She is returning
Street Legal
to her revered Street Legal role 25 years after she first played it. What's happening is
she doesn't look any different.
No, she's so stunning.
I know.
She's actually the company, the firm that she worked with 25 years ago has disbanded, and now she's working with young. What did she call them?
Studs.
Social activists.
Oh.
Lawyers, yeah. So it's a brand new company. She's moving there. And she says it's the best job in Canada.
Olivia, that's her character's name.
She's gorgeous. Oh, my word.
Super nice.
Yeah, she's nice.
It's the whole family. Well, there's her sister Jennifer is the eldest. She's an actress as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Jennifer Dale, Cynthia Dale. And then there's a brother. And they all use the name Dale. That's not their real last name.
Oh.
Cherlewini is the family name.
Dale. Cherylowini?
Yeah, they're the Cherylowini's, and they changed their name to Dale. I think the brother took the name first, and then they all followed suit and used the same name as him. I know. And what's all Cynthia has just a little bit of a speech impediment when she says when she says ch. It comes out ch. She has a little bit of ch in her cheeks. Yeah. So she always says, "Thank goodness they changed the name because Cynthia Cherylowini is really hard to say when you got that."
Well, no doubt. I wonder why Dale. That would.
I don't know why. I'll find out.
Yeah.
Did you know that bridge is considered a sport? The game of bridge.
The card game?
Yeah. The World Bridge Federation is recognized by the International Olympic Committee.
What?
Which means they're governed by Olympic rules. Which means that bridge champion Geir, I think his name is Geir Helgemo. He's Norwegian and he plays for the Monaco. Even though he's from Norway, he's been banned for a year for doping.
Stop it.
I'm not even kidding you.
He's taking testosterone to play bridge.
He tested positive for synthetic testosterone, but it's it's clomiphene. It's a female fertility drug.
Well, females are smarter. That's why he's taking.
I guess so. So anyway, yeah, it's 3.6% of bridge players have adverse findings in 2015 alone.
It's bridge, people.
What do you? I need testosterone. I can deal faster.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe if there was a mental
well, that's the thing, is that they say some of these things can be mental enhancements.
Because it increases your oxygen, so that increases the circulation.
But his was not a performance-enhancing drug. I don't know why. This guy, I don't know, he's shady anyway. In 2017, him and the guy that was ranked number 2, his name is Tor Helness. They were both convicted of tax evasion. In 2017.
You can't trust a bridge player, man. Seriously. You think poker's tough? Bridge players?
Cheaters and tax evaders.
Yes. 25 years ago today, John
Candy died.
Can you imagine? It's been 25 years.
Wow.
I had no idea. When I saw that this morning, I was floored. I can't imagine it's been that long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're not alive.
Yeah. And it's a shame kind of how you end up talking about somebody, like I'm referring to, immediately after his passing. Everyone was he's such a star, he's such an asset, he's so amazing, he's so awesome. But like, why didn't you, tell him that when he was alive? Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe they did.
SCTV, right? He was
with
Second City. Andrea Martin.
Yeah.
All that gang. There's a documentary coming out about them, isn't there?
Yeah, because they sort of broke ground with that. It was before the Saturday Night Live.
Oh yes, absolutely. I don't have any more oranges at home. You know how every day I love to start my day with an orange.
You do, and it smells so good.
I love an orange. And the reason I eat an orange, I used to always drink orange juice. But then I found out when I was in rehab, we found out that you should not start your day if you have any kind of depression.
Right. Yeah.
Don't start your day with orange juice because you sugar spike.
It's too sugary.
You sugar spike and then you crash after.
Right.
So what you do is when you eat the orange, the fiber of the orange,
and it takes more time. It will take more time
and it absorbs the.
So that's why you eat.
That's why because I always loved orange juice. So it just brightens my day. It starts me up. But you know who loves oranges? The Italians.
Oh.
There's a town called Ivrea. I don't know if I'm saying it right, in Italy. Look, Luann, can you see on the monitor? Those are oranges they're throwing at each other.
What? I thought it was tomatoes.
It's an orange festival. It's called the Battle of the Oranges. They are pelting each other.
I was going to say that could hurt.
Look at that. They're
driving them at
you
their
should see the mess afterwards. They have to bring in backhoes to clean up the streets.
No doubt.
This has been going on.
Look at how violent that is. Holy moly.
It's the people's rebellion against tyranny of the lords who used to rule in the Middle Ages.
Okay, so dudes up in the moving vehicle, you think they have an advantage?
But they got a hockey helmet because they're picking them up and hitting them right back again, and they're wearing hockey helmets.
Like they're driving them right at their heads.
You can't even believe the mess that afterwards. It's like pulp everywhere. Can you imagine how sticky?
But it smells good.
That's true.
Right? I bet it smells delicious.
Did you know that even just being in a room where an orange is being eaten, it can change your mental positive things?
Yeah, brings your.
What do you call that? Like aromatherapy. Your aromatherapy. It's like it changes your mood.
Yeah. It's like, you know, when you exercise and you get that rush?
I'm going to Walmart
Oranges
to buy my
kinda do
oranges
this.
after this.
Yeah, you have to go get
Can't
them.
we grow oranges in Canada year-round? I always feel so guilty buying oranges from the USA or South Africa.
Maybe you should get a pot, because apparently you can,
Grow oranges in my pot?
and lemons.
I just grow pot. To heck with the oranges.
And then you won't care. Or
Yeah.
grow pot that tastes like orange.
Orange
Right?
pot.
So then you're happy and you're happy.
You're happy
Right?
and you know it.
Dun-dun-dun.
Eat your orange pot.
So huge backlash to the Leaving Neverland documentary.
I didn't. I only
Holy
taped it. I was in rehearsal.
moly.
I didn't see it. I have it taped.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I have it- I have
But
it taped.
BBC now has banned Michael Jackson music in light of this documentary. Yeah.
They're buying it, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, and Oprah is expecting she's going to get a huge backlash because today she's already recorded an interview with the two accusers, and
With
it
Wade
airs at
Robson
some
and-
point today. So she said, I'm
Wow.
expecting a huge backlash. And of course, the family's not happy at all.
No, they still say we don't, and they haven't watched it.
No.
And someone is saying, how can you
judge it?
if you haven't watched it? They said because he's our little brother and we know him.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's interesting, though, because I watched a story that one of the news networks did about documentaries and whether or not they have to be factual. Because when we do news stories, you have to be objective. You can't, give your opinion. But is that the case for documentaries? Very interesting.
I'm going to watch it and let you know
Me
what I
too.
think. Okay.
Me too, yes.
Meanwhile, we have a great show for you today. So stay with us on Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back after this quick message from one of our sponsors. Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and joining me live in the studio is Anna Gartshore. Welcome, Anna.
Hi, Tim. It's great to be here.
Anna and I were just chatting. We have a lot of history behind each other. Our families know each other for many, many years.
Yeah.
And now you work at Sioux Area Hospital.
I do.
And your job title again, please. It's a long title.
Yes. So at the Sioux Area Hospital, I'm a psychotherapist.
A psychotherapist.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound so long anymore.
No. So social work psychotherapist
There,
is the
that was
full
the
title,
longer
but
one.
it's a mouthful. So we'll just say a therapist.
Now,
yeah.
and you work specifically in the area of eating disorders, or that's your specialization?
So I specialize in the treatment of eating disorders, also complex PTSD, issues of childhood and adolescence, and
No kidding.
anxieties, depressions, a whole gamut of issues I treat.
Wow.
Yeah.
The reason I reached out to you and asked you to come on the show is
Yeah.
because our timing is a little off. You were away on a business trip and stuff, and so you weren't able to get here during the week. But last week was it National Eating Disorder Week?
That's right. Eating Disorders Awareness Week.
Eating Disorders Awareness Week. So
Yeah.
we figured, you know what, even though you couldn't be here during that week, this is an important topic.
Yeah.
So welcome today.
Thank you.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you first if there are any kind of misconceptions that people have about eating disorders.
For sure. Yeah, so eating disorders are tricky illnesses. We often don't realize how serious they are.
Okay.
And we can't tell by looking at somebody whether they have an eating disorder.
Just because somebody might be slender or have a thin build or whatever.
Or be carrying more. Yeah, so...
Because some people who have...
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about being too skinny. Sometimes
Right.
it's about... Do people who suffer from obesity have eating disorders? Is that considered the same thing?
At times, yeah.
Oh,
So there are
okay.
different types of eating disorders.
Right.
And certain behaviors that come along with eating disorders are life-threatening. So I always like to emphasize that we really do need to intervene early
Okay.
if there are signs and symptoms of an eating disorder because of the life-threatening consequences and also the mental health consequences.
So let's talk about some of the different forms of eating disorder. Obviously, there's anorexia nervosa,
Yeah.
which is basically you don't eat enough, you starve yourself. Is that the
Yeah,
idea?
there are two types
Okay,
actually.
good.
So with anorexia, there's one of the criteria is that there's a low body weight.
Okay.
Okay, so the behaviors have resulted in low body weight, which is life-threatening often. But there's anorexia restricting type, where somebody just refuses to eat, is terrified to eat food, a fear of weight gain, and then the other type is anorexia binge purge. So they'll have a low body weight, but at times have episodes of binging and then purging.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That now, Karen Carpenter probably is one of the most famous examples of anorexia.
Amy Winehouse.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she had anorexia binge purge subtype. Yeah.
Okay, then we have bulimia. That's where somebody makes themselves vomit. Is that what bulimia is?
Yeah. So bulimia as well is a disorder
there you go.
where somebody might engage in binge episodes and then has extreme attempts to get rid of the food.
To get rid of the food.
Yeah, and I won't get into all the ways because I don't want to promote those ways. But
absolutely not, or trigger anybody.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That takes such a toll on your esophagus and all the
body systems.
All the body systems.
Yeah.
Are there others now? Because I only mentioned the two. What else?
Yeah, so there are also, there's a binge eating disorder where somebody might eat a large quantity of food, but they don't engage in the compensatory behaviors of getting rid of the food. Yeah. And then there are other ones that I won't go on and on about, but there are many eating disorders out there.
So now, and I did always wonder when you see somebody, going back to Karen Carpenter again, I remember I was alive, I watched it happen. We saw her getting thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
We hear about family interventions trying. What is it that it just doesn't take sometimes, or what? How do we reach somebody or get somebody help when we see that happening in their lives?
Well, usually it's the family members that get involved, and I always say eating disorders affect the full family. So the first step, if you do have a loved one with an eating disorder or you suspect that much, is to get in touch with us at the hospital, and I run parent programs, so full psychoeducation programs for parents, caregivers, loved ones who are concerned about somebody with an eating disorder, because those engagement strategies are crucial. So, and there are some tips and tricks and little nuanced ways that we can help families to get somebody the help that they need. Yeah.
So how does somebody reach out to you at Soon Area Hospital? How do they find you? What's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Well, I want to emphasize that it's really important to have physician involvement with eating disorders because of the medical issues.
All right.
So the physicians are usually the ones that will make the referral to our programs, but people can call.
Even for families, though?
No, for families, anybody can come. Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm a family member and I feel that I have a sibling or somebody in my family or a child, I can reach out to you by just calling?
Yeah, so there's an extension number that we can provide.
Okay.
So it's extension 4634.
4634. So we call Soon Area Hospital and ask, or ask for what? If we don't remember the extension, what do we ask?
The Caregiver Support Program.
Caregiver Support Program.
For eating disorders.
For eating disorders.
Yeah.
Then, so that family member will then be hooked up with you, and you can tell them about the different programs that SAH offers.
Yeah.
Are these like nighttime meeting kinds of things, evening meetings, or are they one-on-one or groups?
The parent program is so it's group programming.
It is.
And I offer that on Tuesdays from 5:30 to 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so now, if you're talking about an actual person who is suffering from an eating disorder, medical involvement, so we need a physician involved for referrals.
Yeah.
What if somebody doesn't have a physician? How do they get a referral?
Then a walk-in clinic will suffice.
Okay.
And thankfully, with our program, we also have a nurse practitioner, so she can do a medical assessment and then work on getting a collaborative physician. Yeah.
So they can help you find a doctor if you don't have one through your And age ranges. I mean, when do you see it starting, or can it start later in life, or are there no real standard?
Well, typically the onset is around puberty.
It is?
Yeah, so usually it's adolescence, and we do really want people to come in because our best defense is early intervention.
Okay.
So around 12, 13, 14 is usually when eating disorders begin to show up.
Okay.
The sooner we act, if we catch it within that first year, we can treat it completely.
Okay.
If it goes beyond 2 years, then we're into a longer term treatment.
All right.
So we really need to catch them. Yeah.
So what are we looking for? What are the signs?
Food restriction, weight loss is very dangerous in young people. When kids should be growing and gaining and they're losing, that's a warning sign. Body image issues, that kind of inner self-critic getting louder, like I hate myself, or I don't like my body, or I'm ugly, or I'm fat. Those are little things to be paying attention to.
Okay.
And to take seriously.
Are there cases where it happens later in life to people who are post-pubescent?
Yep, it does happen later in life for some people.
Okay.
So I treat eating disorders across the lifespan. In my career, I have. Right now, I'm working with the adolescents, but sometimes I've worked with adults who developed it a little bit later later
A little
on.
bit later.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sometimes they were experimenting with dieting and it went too far and it kicked into an eating disorder.
Wow.
So dieting is also very risky. And if you have a genetic predisposition for an eating disorder or anybody in the family who's had eating disorders, weight loss is something to be very careful with. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because I was somebody who was always, I could never gain weight.
Okay.
But I was embarrassed about my body type. I didn't like the fact that I was as thin as I was. And so people would say, oh, you're so skinny.
Yeah.
Not realizing, to me, that was an insult. That hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So you got to think about, it goes both ways too. Like some people think that some people are sensitive about being too thin and some are they see themselves as overweight.
Yeah.
When I look at pictures of myself now, at that age, I was like, if I could look like that again, I would never have thought, you know.
Yeah, but you bring up a good point, which is that when we're making comments about people's bodies directly to them, we could be really triggering something very serious within them.
Right.
And so it's much better just to say something, wow, you're glowing today, you know, rather than to make specific comments about people's bodies. I really try to encourage people to speak about character or glow or, you know, that rather than, you know, make... You know, whether that you're looking skinny or you've gained weight, all those comments can really be quite triggering for people.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for being here today.
All right.
Really nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Sarah Gartshore from the Seward Area Hospital. If
Anna.
Sarah's your sister.
That's right.
Sorry, Anna. Although, yeah, I'm sure Sarah would probably be happy to be a doctor. Are you a doctor?
No.
What do you?
No, I'm a therapist. Yeah.
A therapist.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of talent in this family. I was going to say, if people want more information, the best way to find you is through Seward Area Hospital.
Yeah.
And once again, the extension was
4634.
4634, or just ask for Anna Gartshore.
That's right.
And the Eating Disorder Program, is that what it's called?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this. Take care of yourselves. I was looking at reading about Team Jacobs.
Oh, yes.
They're in Brandon, Manitoba, and looks like things are getting back on track for them. They had a bit of a rough go. Did you know that?
Last year was a bit of a tough season for them.
So this is their 11th Brier. Of course, they won in 2013 and then Olympic gold in Russia in 2014.
Right.
But it's been 5 years actually. They've been having a time. It hasn't just been recently.
Yeah.
Like they lost the Brier in playoffs. They win a lot of round robins, but they get to playoffs. They don't do as well, and then they had the loss of the 2017 Olympic trials.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize they were actually teetering on maybe like.
They were. I actually was lucky enough to interview.
Did you?
Brad. 6 months ago now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he was talking about how difficult it is because when you reach such a huge plateau, you know, like the Olympics as an example, it's hard to maintain that both in your own head and realizing what people expect from you. It's really difficult.
So they went ahead and got this new coach guy, Adam Kingsbury. He's helping them with the mental game.
Yes.
And apparently, it's really made a huge difference. They actually talk openly about being vulnerable in the game and about relying on each other as teammates, about staying in the moment and about remembering to have fun.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's the mental, that's where they felt that their downfall was in their mental game.
Right.
And so
imagine the pressure, right?
No
oh my
kidding.
Word! I think there's lots of pressure working with you every day. But
I know, because it's hard to meet my bar.
Yes, it is. It's so high.
But you always bring your own booze, so meeting
I always have booze.
I don't have to worry about
you never have to worry about
my
that.
bar isn't stocked.
Did you know that there was a woman who bailed out R. Kelly? Do you remember?
She paid the $100,000
Yes.
or whatever to get him out?
Yeah. And apparently she worked.
Oh, was she one of the girls that was in his
Well, they don't know.
cult?
But they don't know if she works now or she worked at a daycare center. There was a bomb threat at this daycare center with children because of their thinking, because of her, and people are
you
upset
kidding
because
me?
she bailed them out. Yeah?
Oh, come on.
That's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
especially if they don't even know if she's still working there or not. It's not like it's her daycare center. You're talking about children, for goodness sake.
Wow.
How is potentially harming children any better than what R. Kelly is accused of doing? So you're upset about this. I get it. But doing this isn't going to help that. It's a whole different kind of kamasaba. Just saying.
Luann has spoken. I don't know what she said, but she spoke.
She's always speaking. Roseanne is in it again.
What does she keep opening her mouth?
Holy man. She did an interview with a woman called Candace Owens, and she talked about the Me Too movement. And she said Lena Dunham types, Lena is an actress in Broke Girls, I believe, Girls. She says Lena Dunham types going around saying we want this now. She says you ain't nothing but
a bunch of
a hoe, because you're in the room and you stay there instead of turning around and running the heck out of there. You stay there and then you say he was going to give me a really cool writing job, and I felt that would be jeopardized if I didn't stay in the room with him. And she says, that makes you a hoe. Roseanne. Gee, I don't know why she's not working in television anymore. Right? Rosie.
So
Chill, man.
So she's still victim. She's victim shaming.
Oh, she totally is.
Don't people have meetings in hotel rooms?
Absolutely.
I've had meetings in hotel rooms. I've sat down with producers in a hotel room.
There's usually a suite or like a living room
area. A couple people, whatever. Because I don't know. I wouldn't think twice about it if it was.
No,
if I really thought it was a professional situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I won't even tell you who I was with, but they wanted to go for a ride if I didn't behave myself. With some of those kinds of producers.
Oh, I'm scared. Who are you interviewing next? After the news.
Women in Crisis.
Awesome.
Yeah, because International Women's Day is this Friday. So we're going to talk about that. And you have the news coming up, so stay with us on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
I absolutely love it when hamburger goes on sale. Just love it.
Why?
I made like 4 meatloafs yesterday. I made probably 8 hamburger patties. The day before, I sauteed a whole whack of onions so that I could put it in with the garlic and all that stuff. Yeah, so now I'm flash freezing everything, so I have these big honkin' doorstop like meatloafs in my freezer right now, just sitting on trays. That's what I did this weekend.
Where did you get your meatloaf?
Top that.
Where did you get your meatloaf recipe?
The recipe?
You made it up yourself? Mm-hmm. Your own self?
My own self. Actually, I watch the Food Network like I'm so addicted. So, whose was it? Ina Garten.
I know that name.
Yeah, she's awesome. She sautés the onions and the garlic first, lets them cool, and then mixes it up and stuff. And she does, like, she's kind of like Barefoot Contessa, so she's been doing this for years and years and years.
Is that her? She is the Barefoot Contessa?
Yes. Yeah.
That's why I'd heard of her.
Yeah, and she and her husband have some money. Let's just say that.
Well, you don't get to be a Contessa unless you got some coin.
Yes. So she actually tops her meatloaf with ketchup.
So do I.
Me too.
You mean you brush it with ketchup when you bake it?
I just like back and forth squeegee it.
Oh, I brush it.
You do?
Yes. Isn't that interesting? I top mine with ketchup as well, and I don't like ketchup.
I'm not fond of ketchup.
I hate ketchup.
Beef. Like, I don't have ketchup on my burgers. I have to have ketchup with fries and scrambled eggs.
No.
Did you puke in your mouth a bit?
Ketchup and eggs, I should warn you.
Oh, yum.
Haven't I told you the story about when we were doing a show called Something's Rockin' in Denmark, and we would tour high schools, okay? Mm-hmm. Which meant you had to be like up at 7 o'clock in the morning, singing at 9. And we would go for breakfast together as an acting troupe, right?
Okay.
Because you're on tour. We had to have 2 tables. The table who used ketchup on their breakfast food and the table who did not. And most of us sat at a table where no ketchup was allowed. Because
Really?
ketchup in the morning, no.
Oh, I
And then
love
you get
it.
these people who like on their
yeah.
eggs or on their sausage. Stop it, Michael. Oh, no.
that's
that's
cute.
Can't stand it.
See, I have a little squeezy bottle.
Squeezy bottle.
So it comes out very, very thin. And Jim, when he cooks for me on the weekends, he always makes
the only thing I put ketchup on in my life, other than when I bake, I put it on meatloaf. I tell you
Okay.
that. A hot dog. I'll put a little ketchup on a hot dog. Otherwise,
I'll
ketchup
do
does
that.
not touch my food.
Really?
It's all it's sugar.
It's very
just all
sugary.
brown. And when I eat ketchup, all I taste is tomatoes and sugar.
Yeah.
I do not like it.
And why is that a bad thing? Tomatoes and sugar.
I
What's
made
wrong
a very
with that?
nice omelet this weekend.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
What was in it?
3 egg yolks, just the egg yolks.
Oh.
Whipped and whipped and whipped until they were like thick and creamy,
Yeah.
right? And five egg whites. Then
Puffy.
And Cheese Whiz.
Stop
Add
it.
your Cheese Whiz into your egg yolks and then fold the egg whites into the egg yolk. You put it in a pan with some butter and then you put a lid on it and you never even flip it. It just slides out and you fold it over and it's this big fluffy omelet.
You're a big shot. You can afford Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz. That's how I make my souffles.
You know
6
what?
eggs, Cheese Whiz, and
Cheese Whiz is expensive. I'm coming to your house for an omelet.
For Cheese Whiz. And stay with me right now because I'm going to have guests from Women in Crisis talking about International Women's Day on Friday.
Great events
Luann.
coming up.
Absolutely. Right back after this. Right back.
Right that back.
I am very happy to welcome back to the show Sarah and Jenna from Women in Crisis. Welcome back, ladies.
Thank you for having us back.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So this Friday, March the 8th, is that the date? It's International Women's Day.
Yes.
How are we celebrating Women in Crisis? How are we doing it?
So International Women's Day is one of our biggest events of the year.
It is?
Yes. We have an event that we put on every year that's open to the public.
Yeah.
It's absolutely free to anybody that wants to join.
We love free.
Yes, we do.
We all do.
We're providing a lunch for everybody.
Wait, what?
Yes.
A free lunch?
Yes, free lunch, free door prize.
Door prizes? Lunch and door
yes.
prizes? Food and prizes?
Yes.
From 11 to 1:30.
Yes.
2.5 hours. Do you have to be there at a certain time to get the lunch, or can you just show up somewhere between 11 and 1:30 and you get fed? Do you know what I mean? Or is there a sit down?
Well, typically around 12 o'clock we try to have lunch.
Oh,
So
okay.
it will be served around that time.
Do you need to know in advance whether we're coming because you want to have numbers and stuff, or is there a pre-registration for this?
Yes, so this year we're holding it at Grand Gardens North, so we know it's a little bit further out there for people.
Corner of 4th Line and Great Northern Road.
Yes,
Yep.
and I think it's really important to mention to people that there is a bus now that stops right in front of the doors.
Good for Ken and Lee, by the way,
Yes.
for arranging that. They talked to
Yes.
the city, and the bus did not used to access there. Would turn left on 4th Line. That's changed.
Yes.
Yes.
The bus pulls right up under the canopy at Grand Gardens North.
Yes, so you get delivered right to the door.
Right to the door.
Yes.
For your free lunch and door prizes.
Yes.
Yep.
No admission.
Yep. And we have a photo booth as well. And
Photo booth, that's fun.
Yeah.
So if you want to, can you bring kids since it is about women and children, right?
Absolutely, you
Yep,
can.
everyone's
yes.
welcome.
Everybody's
Okay.
welcome. But we do ask that people RSVP this year.
How do we do that?
So you just call the shelter, 705-759-1230.
230.
You just call the main line.
And the shelter is Women in Crisis.
Yes.
So if you happen to forget the phone number, just Google Women in Crisis, Sault Ste. Marie,
Absolutely.
call the number and say, I want to come for lunch.
Yes, we'll put your name down, and that's all you have to do. Then you just have to show
Just
up
your
and
name.
enjoy.
Then you
Yes.
show up at the door. You have to say how many you're bringing, like Tim Murphy, party of 3.
yes,
Yeah.
that would be helpful.
That'd be helpful.
And today is the deadline for the registration as
Ooh,
well.
so we have to call today.
Yes.
All right, so spread the word. Get the word out there. So we're going to get the lunch, and we're going to get door prizes. And what are we actually talking about? Are we going to... You have a guest speaker, didn't you?
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. So we have Dana Peterson, who's a Crown attorney, sexual assault Crown attorney. So she'll be there with us.
Excellent. Do we know what topic that Dana's going to be talking on, or just it was inspirational, motivational? Do you know what her subject matter is?
We kind of left it up to her. We
Okay.
put the ball in her court. We said, this is what the day's about. This is what we're celebrating.
Okay.
Every year, International Women's Day has a new theme.
Okay.
This year's theme is #Balance for Better. So the focus is on continuing to work towards a balance of equality for women, because we know we're there to celebrate all of our accomplishments and how far we've come, but we know that there's still not true equality and there's a lot more work that needs to be done. So the focus is that. And, you know, Dana works in a field where there's a lot of male dominance.
Absolutely,
Right?
yeah.
And so just, you know, some of her experiences working in that type of field and what that's been like for her and the changes she's seen throughout her career, things like that.
I don't know Dana, but everything that I've heard about her is
She's
wonderful.
phenomenal.
that's what I keep hearing from
She
everybody
really
who
is.
knows her, and that she does she's an amazing crown.
is.
That she's amazing working with victims.
Yes.
And what a career she's had.
Yes.
So-
Absolutely.
We're so honored that she took the time out of her incredibly busy schedule
Right.
to be there to talk to us.
Well, I mean, it's right now. This past year has been, I think, huge as far as changing the role of women in society and women's voices being heard.
Yes.
Do you agree? I think because of all the stuff that's happened with sexual assaults and with the Me Too movement, and even just Hollywood, glass ceiling, you know,
Yes.
women directors, women producers. I mean, I look at stuff from an entertainment perspective, but
Yep.
really across the board, I think it's been a monumental year for women, but it's come out of. They've taken a negative, made it a positive.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Absolutely,
Yep.
100%. And we want to keep that momentum going. And so having events like this is recognizing all of those things that you were just talking about and keep it going so that we don't slow down.
Right. And also, we're talking about youth too, right? So you want to be able to inspire and motivate and give people an idea that this is what we're working toward.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And with that being said, one of the speakers that we have for the event is a young girl named Leah. She's 8 years old. I believe she just turned 9. And she's actually going to be presenting her oral that she did, that she won first place on. And it's absolutely fantastic on being a girl and what that means. So we have the younger generation that's going to be the future generation of women up and coming speaking at the event.
Hey, guess what? You mentioned her to me, and right after we talked about her, I got an email from Jim Fitzpatrick from the Huron Superior Catholic District School Board. She won an oral with that
Yes.
speech.
Yeah.
So she's going to come in here and she's going to perform the oral for me.
Awesome.
And we're going
That's
to air it on
great.
International Women's Day on the
Very
day that you're
nice.
having the luncheon. We're going to air her oral as well. She's
Good.
little. How old is she?
She's 8 years
8 years
old.
old.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
So thanks for bringing me to her attention,
Yes.
because when I got the email from Jim, I was like, I know this name. And it was because you had told me that.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's just review then. We're going to call today to book our table, whatever,
Yep.
book our, let you know that we're coming.
Yep.
We're going to ride the bus or drive our cars up there. There's tons of parking.
Mm-hmm.
4th line of Great Northern Road. 11 a.m.
Yes.
on Friday, March the 8th.
Yes.
Until 1:30.
Correct.
There's also going to be some performances going on. So you've got the meal, you've got the door prizes, you've got a couple of guest speakers, and then dancing.
Yes. So we actually have the Healing Lodge singers that are going to be coming to drum the event. And we also have some dancers that will be, they're like cultural dancers.
International, 'cause
International,
that's the whole
right?
point,
That's
is
the
it's
whole
International
point.
Women's Day.
Absolutely.
So do you know what, just maybe a couple examples of some of the nations that'll be represented by dance?
So we have, for sure, the Colombian
yeah.
and Jamaica.
Ooh.
Yes,
okay, cool.
yes. And we also have belly dancers coming too. So it's super fun.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a fun event.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Women in Crisis goes, let's just talk a little bit about the agency before we wrap up the interview. Anybody who's interested in helping out women in crisis, if you've got donations to make, because you're talking about at this event, you will have some people there who come from the community who you help, that are people that you work with, that you deal with, or that you've dealt with.
Yep.
You say you love seeing them again, they come back and they celebrate with you, they have a meal, but you also have things like, did you say you have feminine hygiene products and stuff like that available?
Yes, so we do have giveaways. We always have a table that we're able to, women can come and take whatever they need, along with the door prizes that we have as well.
Okay, and if someone wants to make a donation to Women in Crisis, whether it be clothing or whether it be toiletries, feminine hygiene products, how do they do that? Where do they go to drop stuff off to you?
They come right to the shelter. So 23 Oakland Avenue.
Oakland Avenue.
Yeah, so we actually have a bin that's kind of off to the side now of our parking lot.
Okay.
So you can just drop whatever it is that you need there.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much for being here. Great good luck with the event
Thank
at
you.
Grand
Thank you.
Gardens North, Friday, March the 8th from 11 o'clock until 1:30 celebrating International Women's Day with Women in Crisis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A pleasure. And we'll be back to say goodbye with Luann right after this quick break. I was saying to the ladies from Women in Crisis about it's International Women's Day on Friday,
Right.
And they were talking about like glass ceilings and Dana Peterson, the Crown Attorney, talking. Definitely, you experienced that as a journalist, as a female
Absolutely.
journalist, eh?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
think that
this-
things have changed somewhat, Lou, or what?
No.
No.
No, I don't. And it's been 34 years for me, and there's still a big divide. And the industry is still very male dominated. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You either are up here making money or you're not making any money.
That parody,
Yeah.
it's not.
There's no middle class in broadcasting.
We got some work to do.
Yeah, we got some work to do. Let's do it. We're going to go and do some work.
We're going to go and make women international. Celebrate International Women's Day
Yes,
this
we
Friday.
will.
And
Absolutely.
celebrate the rest of the week with us.
Yes. Come back tomorrow morning. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.